everyone, my name is Angela Petrilli, here with my friends from Guitarcenter with the Fender American Ultra Luxe Vintage 60s Stratocaster HSS. So I have a really special Strat with us today. So this Stratocaster has a beautiful blend with vintage and modern specs. So as far as vintage specs goes, what we have is the heirloom nitro finish. We're in Fiesta Red today. It's got a really light touch to it, but also look at that really beautiful checking that we would expect from a vintage instrument. As far as other vintage specs that we have the clay dots on the fretboard as those fret markers. And they've got like this little kind of vintage color to it, as if they'd been there for years and years and years. Another cool vintage feature that we have is with the pickguard. Notice how it's not a sparkling white pickguard or like a parchment color pickguard, right? This is that mint color. So that's something that's happened to vintage instruments over time. They were initially white, and then as the years went on, got this really cool mint color. So we have that here, and how it's stacked, it's the mint and then black and then back to the mint. So you can see the 3 layers of that pickguard there. So really cool touch. As far as modern specs, first and foremost, we have the medium jumbo stainless steel frets. These are rounded off. I don't get that scratch that you sometimes get from frets. So really nice touch with the stainless steel frets. Another modern touch that I really like on this guitar are the locking tuners. I play a ton. It happens sometimes, folks. We know we break strings. And if we need to do a quick string change, no problem. So delving in a little bit more into the modern specs of this guitar, let's go ahead and talk about these pickups. We have the pure vintage 61 pickups in the neck and in the middle. But something cool that's happening here is we have the Haymaker humbucker. Because sometimes we want a little more grit, right? We want a little more horsepower with our guitars, and this humbucker surely does that. And then especially when we go ahead and tap in to the S-1, you're absolutely off to the races. So before we dive into the demo, we know that Strat has many different pickup selections. For this demo, I'm going to talk about the ones that I enjoy and the ones that I like to use when I play. But if there's a specific pickup selection that you want to hear, go ahead and click the chapters down below to check it out. For today's demo, I am going through a 65 reissue Fender Deluxe amp. Lots of horsepower, sounds great, looks great. And for this first demo, what I'm gonna do here, I am going to be in position 5. So the neck pickup, I'm just gonna do guitar into the amp. Let's hear what we get. All right, so we hear the guitar through the amp, no effects, nice and clean. Definitely the sounds that you would expect from a neck pickup. Really bright, really punchy. As far as the playability, feeling the neck radius going from 5th fret all the way up to 12th, 14th frets, right? Really comfortable. The hand feels really balanced. I feel like I'm not fighting, gravity or anything like that. The hand in the palm feels really locked in to the neck, which is something that's really important when you're playing. Also too, I'm using my thumb a lot in that demo, and those stainless steel frets, because they are rounded off, I'm not getting, sometimes I get that scratch. I'm not feeling that. Feels really seamless and really comfortable. So for the next bit of the demo, I'm gonna do that same riff, but this time I'm gonna give it a little bit of really crunchy overdrive. We're gonna try and push this a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Prince of Tone by Analog Man overdrive, and let's see what we get. So when we had the overdrive, brought a lot of cool crunch, brought a lot of cool texture. However, I didn't lose the pickups, right? We could still hear that brightness from the neck as I'm playing those lines, yet keeping a really tight rhythm. We still hear the characteristics of the pickups with that overdrive and that crunch, right? We're getting a little bit of that breakup. And I just love the sweetness of a neck pickup. And by adding that bit of color, we still hear it, but we bring it up a notch. It's pretty cool. So now we're in position 4. This is my favorite pickup selection on a Strat. It's nice and buttery. I play chords with this. You could solo with this too. So what I'm gonna do here for this demo, again, Strat into the deluxe reverb, and that's it. So position 4, my favorite position. You can hear the butteriness I was talking about, right? And those tonal qualities. That's the position I think of when you hear a really great Strat. Okay, for this next part, let's lean into that shimmeriness of this pickup position. So what I'm gonna do here, I have my Strymon El Capistan delay on. All we're gonna do is we're gonna go through that amp. So Strat, delay, and amp. Let's see what we get. So as you can see, when we tapped into that delay, it kind of brought us to a new atmosphere. Really adds on to the shimmeriness and the full-bodied quality that position 4 has. That is a Strat tone. I'm still hearing the beautiful tonal qualities of that neck pickup and that middle pickup working together. It's not that I'm just hearing the delay. I'm hearing the characteristic of those pure 61 pickups too. Really beautiful stuff. All right, position 1, the bridge. If I'm playing with a band, and sometimes I'm in position 4, and I'm doing chords, right? Then a solo gets thrown to me. What do? If I don't have a pedal board, I just go right to the bridge position. I'm gonna get that difference in sound. When we get to bridge, things are a lot tighter, a little treble heavy, right? That nice Strat quack that we look for that is quintessential with the Strat sound. We get that here with this pickup. I'm just gonna play some really cool, like kind of chunky chords. I want it to sparkle, but I want it to have that quack. So again, Strat into amp, that's it. This reminds me a lot of the like 60s rock. Nice and chimey, especially those like B and E string. We really hear them ring, and it's very even. I'm hearing the clear low notes, right, of that B to E to D chord. I'm hearing all of that clearly, but I'm getting that nice chime on the high end, on that treble end. I'm hearing that too. So very, very well balanced. There's one thing I can say. Very well balanced bridge pickup. So now what we're gonna do, we've heard the humbucker, position 1, from guitar to amp and out. Now what I'm gonna do, put a little dirt, a little overdrive. So I'm gonna put on my Prince of Tone by Analog Man, and let's see what we get. All right, so we get a really cool scratchy sound. Kind of like it. Really reminds me of like the Kinks and like the Ramones. Really, really cool, really inspiring. I like how this guitar can go from totally chill, right? With the delays, get the really cool buttery chords, and then you have something like that. That's why I love Strats. Incredibly versatile guitars. So we gotta love the sound of a bridge, right? It's gonna be punchy, it's gonna be quacky, all of that good stuff. But now, got to talk about the S-1 switch. So the S-1 switch is located on top of the volume knob. All you're going to do to engage it is you're just going to press down. When I have it in position 1, it uses this pickup. When I have it in position 2, it splits the coil and includes the middle pickup. So in total, we have 7 different pickup selections that you can choose from. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to play a chord in the regular bridge position with the humbucker. And now, I'm gonna engage the S-1 switch, and we just get the bridge pickup. So, we can hear a difference between the humbucker and then when we engage the S-1 switch, and we get the coil split. So with the humbucker, we get some grittiness, we get some really good attack, we get some full-bodied humbucker sound that we would expect from a humbucker in the bridge position. But when we engage the S-1, and it's a coil split, meaning just one of the pickups is used, we get an even quackier sounding bridge pickup in this Strat. Again, furthermore leading to how great and how thoughtful the modern specs on this Strat are. All right, so let's go ahead and dig a little bit more into the S-1 bridge selection. Again, to engage the S-1, click on top of the volume knob, put it in position 1. We have coil split the humbucker. I'm gonna go ahead and do this clean, and then we'll see how it sounds. Let's go. All right, so as you can tell with this one, it's really cool. Getting a lot of cool like funk vibes with this. Really nice and punchy, and I love the attack. I love the way that this cuts. It's really fun. So what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna put a little wah on this because I can't help myself. I think it sounds really cool. So let's do that same riff, but with a little bit of wah. So I've got my Oxbow Studios wah here, and let's give this a shot. Really textured. That's the first word that comes to mind when I was playing this. I love how it cuts too. It doesn't get lost. You can hear both things very distinctly. You can hear the wah and you can hear the pickup. Overall, versatility is the word that I think of with this Strat. This guitar tips the hat to the vintage instruments that we love and that we've been inspired by some of our favorite records. It gives us the look and feel of a guitar that's been loved, but also gives us the modern touches that we like stainless steel frets, like locking tuners. We love the sound and the inspiration that comes from vintage instruments. But by having a guitar that has modern touches allows us to really have the best of both worlds. If you want to learn more about the Fender American Ultra Luxe Vintage 60s Stratocaster HSS, head to guitarcenter.com, call one of their expert gear advisors, or head to a guitar center near you.